Welcome back to V-Roll. We have that poster collection, the Scarlet and Violet Pokemon 151. Going out to one lucky winner. All you got to do is like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 4,000 subscribers. That is going to be a top tier prize. I don't know what else I'm giving away, but I am going to be doing some other prizes. So what you have to do to make sure you're officially entered to win is go over to this video here. That's the one where you're going to leave an additional comment where I'm going to be pulling the winners from. Once we reach that threshold, 4,000 subscribers, that's the goal. Let's do it. But today, we are going over our Works of Art Wednesday, and we are on Astral Radiance. Every week I go through sets going from Modern all the way working our way back, and we are going to jump ahead to anything that's a new release when it comes time. We did that. We paused where we were, went to Stellar Crown. We'll do the same thing when Surging Sparks come about. But in our order of things, we are on Astral Radiance, so let's dive in. Here we have Astral Radiance, the main series set, and the Trainer Gallery. Trainer Gallery is going to be the majority of the artworks, so that's what we're going to focus on. But there's a handful in the main series we want to take a look at, particularly the alternate arts that seem to pop up right over here. Those are going to be the ones that are kind of worth taking the time, taking that step, because full arts really don't offer a whole lot when we have so much else that we can be comparing to. So the Trainer Gallery is going to be the main focus here, a set of 30 cards, but those alternate arts are definitely worth considering, and I've made it super easy because we know what they are. We know how they work. The alternate arts are super simple to work out. There's only 6 of them, okay? And we can be a little bit more simplified in how this works. I think it comes apparent to me on where it works, but let's understand the tiers that I have. I have a true artwork, I have still art, neutral, and not going to last. Now, none of these are going to be fitting into that not going to last category. I think that all of them will last the test of time and stand out as a interesting piece in the Pokemon TCG as far as artwork goes. And this is just an art perspective. This is not about their price point. This is not about their playability. This is not their collectability or their rarity. This is literally about the art. So that's what we're going to be looking into first and foremost. And you might be surprised, but I blocked this out real quick because there's only 6 of them and I really want to get to that Trainer Gallery. And you might be surprised of how I placed them, but I did put Palkia, Dialga, and Beedrill in the still art. Now that's worthy there. I think Palkia is the one I'm a little bit on the fence about because it's so interesting, but I really feel like that's all it has going for it, is this chaotic, weird, interesting, interdimensional feel. And then I kind of stop. So that's why I have to fall a little bit short of that true artwork where you have the Sneasler with this vast landscape hanging off the cliff. Amazing, beautiful artwork here. The Lilligant V is fantastic, just floating around on the ice here, doing what she's doing. He's doing whatever she's doing. I don't know. We got all these other little Pokemon making their appearance, little cameo in there. And, of course, the Machamp running these errands, grabbing all this stuff, using all 4 arms to do some crazy stuff, running through town, wild and chaotic. And this kind of was one of the earlier ones for that super chaotic scene of a lot happening. You've seen it now in 151 with that Pikachu running through town. We have the chaos going on in that Giratina V. That's why that really set a tone for everybody in that true artwork zone there. Those 3 make that top tier, and then these 3 over here in the still art. Now, I'm keeping it separated because the Trainer Gallery in particular has a little bit more of an interesting direction to take, where we have all the different Trainer Gallery cards. There's 30 of them. You have the yellow border ones for 15, I believe, and then you have the black border ones. I don't know, maybe it's not 15. It couldn't be split, I guess, because we have the full trainers here. And we have these gold cards. So some of them just stood out very quickly to me. I will say that I don't think any one of these falls into the category of not going to last, which is, you know, kind of nice that they can make such a cohesive set of artworks and put them in there into, you know, having some potential for long term, but I don't think it's going to be in the not going to last category at all, any of them. And there were a few that I just put a little bit early placement into the neutral because it just made sense for the speed of this video, trying to accelerate it a little bit and putting a little more emphasis on the true artworks. So with that in mind, I'm going to move a little bit quick where I have some that fall into the still art category pretty quickly. And again, this is a Trainer Gallery, so it's going to feature a trainer with a Pokemon. These things are very easy to read, and you might be surprised at where I place some of these, but I'm not going to be backpedaling on my decisions here because there's just some that really take it to another level. It's difficult to be this strict on it, but I am going to be putting the majority into that still artwork category. And I know it might be surprising seeing these legendary birds even making that cut there. Zapdos is the only one I'm a little bit hesitant because I think there's a lot more energy to this one here. And Garchomp I feel like is a fan favorite, but it just falls a little bit short on being something more than just the Pokemon kind of proud standing there. I think there's a little bit too little happening in that scene. The Zacian and Zamazenta, they are going to be going into that still artwork as well. For whatever reason, I really like the color scheme here. It does pop. It's very nice on the Waydeer, but I don't think it really elevates it enough to that true artwork category, and the Obstagoon is going to be the last of the still artworks to be putting in here. In particular, I want to bring you to a few here that I picked out, Kingdra being one of them, and yeah, surprisingly a couple of those yellow border cards made it into the true art category. But I think that this Kingdra kind of has a lot of energy to it. It's an underappreciated Pokemon for sure, and we have this really good closeness here between the trainer and Pokemon in this obviously bonded relationship here, soaring across this river, or I don't know exactly where we are. It looks like they're going down a waterfall or something. I can't tell because we got like these trees or hint of trees around here, this landscape way behind them. I don't understand exactly where we're at, what we're going on, but it asks a lot of questions. It begs a lot of questions rather, of what is happening in the scene and what I'm really looking at. But there's a lot of energy, a lot of providence to the Pokemon themselves here, and we have the obvious here of tying in these blues in so many different tones across the board, from the very light to the deeper blues up front. So it gives a little bit more depth just within that color toning itself. It's an interesting, for sure, interesting artwork, but it definitely makes it to that true artwork in my opinion, which is why we're going to toss that to the top, because it just has that deserved spot. What the heck, can we get there? Okay, geez, yes, we can get there. Let me just bring this a little bit smaller so I can make this work here. A few others I'm going to toss in there are the Ice Rider and Shadow Rider, Calyrex, or yeah, Calyrex V, and sorry, Ice Rider Calyrex V, Shadow Rider Calyrex V. Long name, can't get it out for some reason, but here we are. It's really the scenery, the landscape. It's really giving it a whole lot more of that energy. Same with the Kleavor. Very interesting that this one kind of hit it for me when I was just sifting through. It just stands out as this posture of the Pokemon. So I don't even think I pulled this aside. Let's do that right now. So the posture of the Pokemon having this interesting angle, that wide stance. It seems like we're close up at a wide angle. We get a really good reach into the axe arms there of Kleavor. The trainer almost seems like they're hiding from their own Pokemon, like maybe there's more to this story. We get a good landscape, the light pouring through from behind. There's just enough happening where it's like, yes, it makes it. I could see putting in the still artwork. If you disagree with me, that's a reasonable case to make. And I think we have that VMAX for the Shadow Rider as part of this, but not the Ice Rider. For whatever reason, I didn't feel like that was quite the level I was looking for in this particular series of looking at the artworks. Yeah, we got a good sky here, but then I kind of fall a little bit short, and there's really not a whole lot more to it, where the Shadow Rider seems to have a little bit more energy. Maybe it's because we get the aurora there. Is that the moon coming through? We got these light beams like we had in the others, and this nice contrast of colors within it really elevates it to that true artwork, in my opinion. The Hoot Hoot I was surprised by, standing out to being something that, one, it's simple, it's cute, but it gives a really, really good scene. As far as artwork goes, it's not super detailed. It actually is a little bit more mundane and simplified in how we have these blocked colors where it becomes pixelated in series here, that you have just tones of colors interlaced with others, but not really brushed in to the scene. So it's a very interesting artwork or paint style, I guess, if we wanted to attribute it to a painting or something. It doesn't really seem to fit into the whole series. If you look at it when you step back, it seems like it's the odd man out across the board. Right when you put it up here, even though I think it fits and deserves true artwork, it doesn't seem to fit in with the energy of any other card. It's very much an oddball, and maybe that's what brings my eye to it a little bit more. And of course, you know, making it stand out for that very reason. Starmie, I think, might even be the chase of the set, or one of them for sure. As far as Trainer Gallery, definitely. As far as the full set, let me take a look at the alt arts. No, of course, we have the Machamp V, and then after that, yes, it is the Starmie V, beating out 5 other alt arts. Wow, crazy. But, I mean, aside from the price, this one has really stood out because it's Starmie. Nobody really has ever cared that much about Starmie. However, when you have the trainer of Misty in there. We're going back to the original anime series, having Misty being a part of this card, and having Starmie getting a little bit of love finally for a change, because really otherwise not a very exciting Pokemon. And we have the really wonderful scenery, the flowers, the little pool ball here, the food and drinks hanging out, just floating in the pool, chilling. We can all relate to this feeling of just relaxing and taking a break, kicking back with one of your best friends, and in this case, the best friends of Pokemon. And of course, the Starmie V hits true artwork. If I had to pick one from the set, this is definitely going to be it, even over the Machamp. Yes, as far as artwork goes, even over the Machamp, I think the Starmie stands out above the Machamp artwork-wise. Separating these is kind of not really doing a whole lot fairness, because they're not next to each other to give that direct comparison. However, I think it's reasonable to say that these make sense where they're at. You could argue in some of the still arts that some may deserve a little bit higher tier, and maybe that's part of your comment down below when you're joining the channel, subscribing and liking down below, getting in for that entry to get your chance to win that Pokemon poster collection from 151. You know, take it as you'd like, however you want to do it. But I'd love to hear your feedback and what I think of this stuff. It's really just for the fun of taking a step back and looking at the artworks, because not a lot of people do this with any real depth. And I don't want to go too crazy, because I could spend 15-20 minutes just talking about one card, and maybe there's a future where that happens. But for now, trying to rush through the set, or at least the most obvious art pieces of the set, and give you a little bit of feedback and insight just from where I sit. And it's just an opinion, so if you don't like it, that's okay. If you disagree with it, I'd love to know where we differ, just because I find it interesting, and it's really just critiquing the artwork that we get. This is no hit on any of the artists in particular or anything like that. None of these are bad. I think once we've reached into this level, the not going to last is actually a hard category to get to, because they have so much to offer. I mean, the trainer gallery is specifically set up as artworks for the sake of artwork, aside from the main series set. So it's a very interesting series, in my opinion, that I'm doing with these Wednesday works of art. But yes, be a part of the channel, like, comment, subscribe, enter for your chance to win that Pokemon 151 poster collection there. Beautiful little setup for you. And other prizes, again, haven't got there yet, but I will. Once we reach that 4,000 subscribers, those giveaways are going to happen. I say in the beginning how you can enter for sure, but make sure you look back and check that out. And until then, remember, I post 7 days a week, so I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.